Right now at 5:30, we're taking a deeper dive into the big headlines from the past week right here in Connecticut. From Roe v. Wade to the end of the legislative session, certainly a lot happening lately. Joining us right now with more is Dan Haar, columnist and associate editor at Hearst Connecticut Media. Thank you so much for being with us, Dan. We appreciate your time this afternoon.
Thank you. Great to be here.
You know, first up, obviously there's been so much talk about what happened with the Supreme Court with this leak involving Roe v. Wade. We know where Governor Lamont stands with this issue, and we just heard from his running mate, or his challenger, I should say, Bob Stefanowski. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Mr. Stefanowski put out a statement yesterday, Wednesday, under a lot of pressure because really throughout the 2018 cycle when he ran as the Republican nominee, we didn't know what his position was. Simply put, does he or does he not support a woman's right to choose in reproductive health care? And the answer is still a little bit unclear, although he went further and he said that this is the law and that I will not seek to change the law. So he didn't come out and say the 7 magic words, I support a woman's right to choose. He did say he will not seek to change the law. He challenged Governor Lamont to say whether he favors some of the provisions in the bill that's in Congress that failed yesterday in the Senate, which was written by Senator Blumenthal, which would have extended certain things in late-term abortions. That's not clear. And that's also not the issue. So we still have a little bit of a mystery about where Bob Stefanowski stands, but we know that he at least will say he is not going to seek to change the law.
Which, by the way, is a position that is really quite different from some Republican governors and lawmakers in other parts of the country.
Yes, he's hosting Governor Pete Ricketts from Nebraska, who's not only a Republican governor with an anti-choice position, but one of the leading anti-choice Republicans in the nation. He held a day of prayer on the anniversary of the Roe v. Wade decision back in the winter.
So much talk lately as well about mental health issues. We know what's going on in Killingly, students in New Haven walking out today. The governor signed a mental health bill into law. Talk a little more about what that means.
Yeah, that's a real big issue. It's a real big package of 3 separate bills. They do so much that it would be impossible to list. It's school-based mental health care. It is mobile units being available 24/7. It is community-based. It is some of the, remember the stuff that we talked about with childcare, early childcare? That's in this bill. It's an omnibus collection of 3 bills. The question here is not politics. There was general agreement on it. It's whether the state will be able to afford it going forward, because it's a lot of money, and some of it is using pandemic relief money, and it's a question of how do you really implement this? So it's not a policy dispute so much as it is practically how do we get this all done?
Well, Dan Haar, we could talk all afternoon. It's always good to see you, and I know you're going to be joining us on a regular basis from Hearst Connecticut Media. Thank you again, Dan, for being with us today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.